Hey Capricorn, let's do your update. This was a promised update after this new understanding, this new beginning for March was coming through in our monthly reading. The cards had a lot to say for the Pisces update. And we're going to use the same deck. This is the tarot deck for Curious Travels, I think is the official title of it. It feels really good today, like just a breath of fresh air. I mean, the cards and also the energy that's sort of outside. Where I live, it's a little windy. It's a little scary because everything's so dry, and then that wind comes along, and there's a bit of a risk in that, but it is what it is. It'll happen more and more now in the following decades. All right, let's see here. Ooh, Capricorn. What is your update? The universe is really, really holding on tight to make sure this is the best possible message for you. Very specific. Wow. Okay. 6 of Wands is on the bottom. That's good. King of Wands. The Star. Pisces had the Star too. Pisces had the Star in the bottom card, I believe, for their update. Page of Pentacles. We're going to do 3 cards, Capricorn. If I'm not mistaken, these are very similar cards to our Monday. Our monthly reading. The feeling is the same. The feeling is definitely the same. I just want to preface this by saying, there is beauty in the unknown. It might be scary for some, but if you can just figure out a way to live in this sort of relaxed attitude toward the future and have faith that it's going to turn out the way it should, there's a certain beauty in that serendipity. And I think if you appreciate that more than the actual result, more than the conclusion, more than the outcome, then I think you're going to be in a really good place. And I'm not saying that the outcome is bad. I'm just saying that, for one thing, it might take a while. And secondly, it's open to interpretation. A little bit like the Pisces update. It's like you could understand some things in a negative or positive light. It's really up to your discretion. So that's why I say if you start to understand sort of the beauty of the transfer of energy, the beauty of the journey itself, then the outcome's not really going to make that much impact on you. All right, why is the King of Wands here? And the King of Wands, King King of Wands has this energy of, like I was just saying, if there's multiple perspectives. King of Wands can kind of burn out, and that same fire that burns something out can also just make it more impassioned, right? So where's the balance between those two things? How do you keep your impassioned attitude but don't burn out? The sun flies out, and I have a feeling that'll come back sometime during this reading. This is a much slower energy than Pisces. If you watch the Pisces update, this is a much slower energy. Sorry about that. The dogs are enjoying the windy day. Okay, the world's on the bottom. Seven of Wands, Four of Pentacles, Chariot. Yeah, it is kind of this, you have to fight for this. It's a little bit of you have to fight for your rights. Like, it's a little bit of you have to fight for your ideas. I'm not gonna, yeah, that was kind of out of left field, but that's what's coming in. Speaking of coming in, there's a new energy coming in, but it's a little bit of, it's bringing back a little bit of what sort of had already transpired. How can I explain this? There's a shift, and it, like I was talking about, balance is important for the King of Wands. It's a little bit unbalanced. There's a little bit of, I don't know if it's from you or from someone externally that you're attached to, but there's a little bit of this overdeveloped sense of protection, like someone needs to protect you or you need to protect yourself. So while you have this strength and energy of passion, there is a little bit of fear, because obviously, like, if we really think we need to protect someone or if we need to protect ourselves, there's a fear of danger, harm, losing, loss, injury, whatever it is. And that energy is sort of coming in. With the world being on the bottom, I don't think it really exists. Like, I don't think the fear is real. I think that fear is coming in, but I don't think that fear is real. Let's see if the star has any further explanation for us here. Why is the star here? It is sort of almost like a challenge. Like, it is, Capricorn, a little bit of a challenge, like a challenge of faith. Like, are you willing to trust the loss of everything, or are you willing to trust this loss and not be in a fear for what you really want? There's a little bit of that. It's like, that's why I say the fear is not real. It's almost like a challenge. Like, if, like, hypothetically, would you be willing to give things up in order to get what you want? Yeah. And that's why that fear is there, but it's not really there. You know what I mean? Okay, why is the star? Because it's coming in. It's just set with this challenge, and so you might blow things out of proportion. You might have something amazing come in. Like, let's say, for example, the hypothetical would be you have this amazing job offer, but the amazing job offer, you misread the offer and in the email, and you think you have to relocate to freaking Montana. No offense to people who live in Montana. It's beautiful there. Okay. But let's say that you really like warm climates. Okay. So you freak out and think you're going to have to, lose your friends, lose your, maybe get challenged with custody with your kids. You're going to lose your, the value of your house that you've built into. You're going to and who knows? And you misread it the whole time. It really is in your hometown, right? It's just that the headquarters are in Montana, right? It's a little bit of that false step, but it freaks you out enough that it gives you an unbalanced view of the entire offer, right? It warps your sense of security just enough in connection, like that psychology thing of it. It just warps your perspective of this offer enough based on your initial fear that was unbiased. It paints a nasty picture of that opportunity. And so you go into it a little colored by that experience. You know what I mean? There you go. That's the explanation. So we have the star on the bottom of the star. We have the Page of Wands. We have the Ace of Cups. And the Hierophant. Wow. There's a certain... Okay. I see things. Watch the Pisces update, okay? Watch the Pisces update, whether you have any Pisces in your chart or not. Because I don't want to repeat myself about seeing the negative and the positive in every experience, okay? Just go watch that. In the meantime, what we have here with the star coming out, this is the new energy that we were talking about in the March reading. May, it could go through May, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I'm just out of it and Cal is ripping my leg open. But Page of Wands, Ace of Cups. Yeah, this is kind of it's either an energy that you're attracting or an energy that you are expressing, an energy that either you're attracting or that people think is you, like that you're putting out there into the universe. And it is this. It's a very loving, sweet energy, but the emotional immaturity is tied to this sort of woo-woo spirituality. And I don't think it's going to hurt you, but it's not going to help you in terms of whatever you're trying to do to move into this new energy. I think it's a pause button, right? So it's not going to hurt you, but it's going to slow down this progression through this part of the journey where you need to get to your next manifestation. It's going to slow you down because it's a pause button. It's let's stop and smell the flowers, and that's fine. Let's stop and count our crystals. Okay. Let's stop and have a good old fashioned cry and talk about our astrology charts. That's fine. That's fine. Have that if you want it, but it has sort of this, it's great, but it has this sort of neutral effect on everything. And then it slows you down in your progress overall. And for some of you, I think it'll be a little bit more than others will slow you down. I keep coming back to the emotional immaturity. And I really feel like you're attracting people like that. For some of you, this is 100% people that you are attracting to you. So Cal. So for some of you, it's all about some external energies that are coming forward that think you are the absolute shit, but they don't have the emotional vocabulary or um, experience to do right by you. So the universe is like, just kind of look out for that. Just kind of watch. Just kind of make sure that you're protected, and that if you get any instincts of somebody maybe isn't right for you, listen to that. It's so weird. The reason I'm having such a struggle with this is because it's so weird that we've got stars bookending, a page of wands, an ace of cups, and a hierophant, but it's such a neutral, weird place. It should be, but it's not. I mean, it should be, oh, this is amazing spiritual awakening, and you're discovering these. No, it's not. It's kind of little rainbow colored black hole, or at least rainbow hole. You know, it's weird. Okay. Why is the page of Pentacles here? It is very weird. I love this lighting from outside. Isn't it the best? That card looks so beautiful. I'm just, ugh. It makes me want to redesign my whole house around those colors. We've got Cal on the, okay. All right, buddy. Why is the Page of Pentacles here? That beautiful card, all rust and sage green. Wouldn't that be lovely? Some little bit of dark brown, some light yellows and blues. Ugh. I mean, I'm not going to say anything necessarily that doesn't have a direct impact on the reading itself. I'm kind of, in a zone. And so the cat's really now annoying me too. This person might annoy you. So, listen to your instincts. Okay. Page of Pentacles. Why is it here? Judgment. King of Pentacles. High Priestess. Now that's more like it. That's the kind of energy we want. Yeah, and the 10 of Pentacles. Yeah, this is way different. I'm kind of worried that you're going to ignore this energy, or this very much seems like an external energy to me. And it feels like you're going to ignore it. This energy has a depth and a resonance that is very hard to find. This is most likely a person that you will meet or that you've already met. It could be a job. It could be a passion or something. It could even really be a book that you read. Things that you never even thought about before suddenly are like, whoa, what is this? Really opens your mind. But I think part of you feels challenged by it, not in a combative way, but in a way of practicality, which is interesting because this energy you're tempted by, this lightness, this sort of falseness a little bit, and this immaturity you're attracted to. But this depth and this promise of development, growth, this is a dirty energy. I mean that in the best possible way. Like this is like earth, like salt of the earth, like earth, like this is like dirt to grow. This is like miracle grow dirt. You know what I mean? That you buy at the hardware store and you put things in and they grow beautifully. This is like Mother Earth, deep, dark. force of nature type of stuff. And I think that this intimidates you. I think it intimidates you and makes you feel insecure. And so, whether it's a job, whether it's a book, like I said, it could very well be a book that sort of blows your mind. It could be a person. It could be, any type of person, family member, friend, connection that you make, intimately. But I think you get a little jammed up by it because you really do have to move to that next step. It's got a lot going on, Capricorn. I think that was the result of our March reading too. You've got this a lot going on. Um, yeah, I really don't have any advice over here, or the universe doesn't have any advice for you over here. This sort of is what it is. And I think this is very rare. And it's so rare that some of you watching won't even come across this. But if you do, just entertain the idea that it might be worth the risk of feeling insecure, of feeling like your views have been challenged, like there's an inferiority, there's an imbalance, like this is greater than you. Just kind of, if you lean into that, there could be some big, big, big growth. Let's just do, I did it for Pisces, so let's just do a couple of cards, maybe a bottom card. Okay, let's get one bottom card, just one, and then two cards to sort of see what is this. Explain to us a little bit more how this all comes together. That's what I'd like to know. So there's a lot going on here, and I don't want Capricorn to feel like they're too segmented. I mean, Capricorn, bless your hearts, I think you have a natural proclivity to compartmentalize. But let's not do that. Let's sort of look at this in a holistic way and see what we have to gain from this whole. You don't want to know what just flew out. This whole situation. Okay. Bottom card. And two more cards on the top. That is it, my friends. We have the Hermit. Yeah, I don't think that would be a bad idea when all else fails. Sort of hide away for a minute. Just don't. Just try to avoid reinforcing loops, right? So if you do go hermit and stay at home for a couple days, don't answer the phone, just kind of try to avoid reinforcing those biases and those previously held notions and beliefs while you're at home. Instead, in the safety of your own home, in the safety of your own hermitage, the idea of the hermit is to expand knowledge, is to open your mind through the comfort of your own space and be able to see what's happening around you with an objectivity. So I think if anybody, we all do this to a certain extent, but I think maybe you have a little bit more of a tendency to sort of reinforce patterns rather than open when you're hermiting. So how about just try that? Okay. I said it a few times. That's enough, right? Yeah. Wow. So we have the Three of Swords. And we have the Empress. Shoot. What's under that? Hold on. Like, what's under that? It kind of, this, okay, folks. Okay, folks. This is what it is. Kind of whatever it is, it is. Um, this is part of life, right? And you know, I am not going to candy coat anything, but um in part of this new energy, there is a potential for growth that comes through heartbreak, right? Like, that you cannot, what's the old saying, you can't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs. It's kind of like that. So your next sort of level might, for some of you, require that level of sacrifice, like we've talked about for March. I it's not quite as simple as that, though. It's not quite as simple as that. Um, because I think for some of you, you see that as the self sacrifice. Like, okay, like let's say that you're moving, for example. I think I used this before in Pisces reading or something, but you're moving, for example, and you may have met really good friends, or really, or a partner for life, and you're moving away from them. And it's a bit of that self-sacrifice that pushes you to move. There's a little bit of a coldness to it. A little bit of a coldness to it, though, in order to get what you want, you know? And, well, you know, if that's the way it is, that's the way it is, Capricorn. Um, if you know, but I am definitely drawn to the Empress, you know, sticky fingers from the pomegranate, blinded by these stars. I think that is very much Capricorn energy. Um, and it just is. Could be really great for you, but there is loss involved. And I think we talked about that earlier in the reading. So anyway, overall, that energy's still here. This right here, Capricorn, is amazing. And if you're one of the rare individuals who gets to grasp onto this 10 of Pentacles, High Priestess, Page of Pentacles, King of Pentacles energy, and you'll know it because it'll have the texture of dirt. It'll feel like part of the earth. You won't necessarily be comfortable with it, but it will feel natural and dark and fecund. Is that the right word? Oh, it'll be good. Anyway, I love this. I want to pull it and extend it on this right now. Because that is very nice. But that's me. That might not be you. Um, and yeah, you've got some powerful things happening, Capricorn. Really powerful things happening that the universe is sort of testing you and giving you opportunities to move and thrive and push and pull. And don't get caught up in fear. Period. That's the overall lesson here. It comes from here and it comes from here. Don't get caught up in fear. Fear nothing. If you find yourself getting to that period, to that place, to that feeling of insecurity, of loss, of uh, scarcity, of inferiority, go back home. wherever that is to you, wherever you feel most at home, and then just stop. Try to open your heart and your mind and look everywhere around you and really get that hermit's perspective. Anyway, it is what it is. Remember that no reading comes out of a vacuum, and all readings are influenced by the reader as well as the time in which they're pulled. Whenever you find this is when you are supposed to find it. But yeah, this is about as timeless of a reading as you can get. All right, Capricorn, good luck.